Hi friends, welcome to Khanejika. Today we are going to discuss the theories of profits. As mentioned earlier, there are number of divergence opinions of various economists about the theories of profits. There is no consensus among the economists. There is no single profit theory. Economist. There is no consensus and a lot of confusions prevail about the real function of an entrepreneur. No theory can be regarded as the supreme and none can be accepted in totality. We will discuss about the theories of profit one by one. First one, the foremost theory given by John Bates Clark. This theory was formulated by an American economist, John Bates. John Bates Clark argued that in a static economy, the entrepreneur has no role to play and consequently there are no profits. According to him, profits can only arise in a dynamic economy. Dynamic means every time changes occurred or every time economy may face the changes. Clark mentioned five generic changes that occur in a dynamic economy which results in profits. These five points we will discuss one by one. Change in the population and change in the taste of the people. First point, that is the change in the population and change in the taste of the people. Change in the pattern of human wants, including their quantity and quality. Third point is continuous capital accumulation, leading to growing productive capacity. Continuous capital accumulation, it's been increasing the stock of capital. Capital is one of the important factor of production. Without capital, we can't produce anything. Continuous capital accumulation, increasing the stock of capital. Fourth one, the change in technology. Technological changes may lead to the changes in an economy of the production process. Change in technology. Technological changes may improve the production efficiency, product efficiency, quality, etc. Change in the form of business organization. These 5 points may cause to change a constant divergence between cost and price, leading to emergence of profits. The profits may be positive or negative. Positive means the gains or profits. Negative means the losses. Loss of profits. These negative and positive depending upon the action taken by entrepreneur. The first two changes mentioned, I already mentioned above. First one, change in the population, change in the taste of the people, and change in the pattern of human wants, including their quantity and quality. These 2 points may increase or decrease in the demand for the commodities or services. If the population changes, or the population increase, demand also increases. If the taste changes, the production and the supply will be changes. And change in pattern of human wants, including their quantity and quality, also changes in an economic system. So these 2 points changes may increase or decrease the demand for the commodities or services. If the human wants increases, demand also increases. If the human wants got limited, demand will also got limited. The last 3 points which suggested already 3 points. The last 3 points changes may bring about an increase or decrease in the supply of the commodities or services. If the technology changes, supply also changes. If the change in the form of business organization, the production will be changed. Continuous capital accumulation also increase the supply or the decrease the supply if the accumulation is decreased. The change in demand and supply brings about a change in the price and cost of production. According to Clark, profits is the difference between the price and cost of production. If as a result of the change, price exceeds cost of production, it would lead to profits. Conversely, if price is less than cost of production, the entrepreneur would have to suffer losses. The theory here asserts that the function of entrepreneur is to take advantages of the changes that take place in the economy. Profits or losses arise as a result of difference between expected receipts and actual receipts and between expected cost and actual cost. Clark give an example to the static economy. According to the point of view of Clark, the situation of static economy, the situation in a static economy is different from the dynamic economy, which is characterized by generic changes. In a static economy, the population remains same and so do their tastes. Thus, the demand is known to the producers and production is carried out according to the known demand. The capital, technology and business organization also remain constant, ruling out any changes in supply side. In this way, all the above generic changes are absent in static economy. So the entrepreneur just gets wages for management just like any other worker. The only difference being that his return is called normal profits. There is no supernormal profits. Entrepreneur gets only the normal profits. But in real times, in real situation in the world, there is no static economy. No economy is in a situation of static. Each economy is always in a state of flux, or every economy continuously moving from the static to a dynamic state. Each changes bring an opportunity for the entrepreneur to earn profits. Such an opportunity does not last forever, and profit disappear as the other producers adjust to the changes. Further changes in the economy bring forth other opportunities, and this is never-ending process, enabling the entrepreneur to earn profit time and again. Every theory has its criticism, as well as the Clark's theory of profits also has criticism. Now we shall discuss the criticism of the theory. The modern world is characterized by joint stock companies. This theory fails to explain the emergence of profits distributed to shareholders who perform no entrepreneurial function. It leads. Professor Knights also criticized the theory by asserting that all the changes do not give rise to profits. Changes which can be anticipated can be insured against, and thus the potential loss can be avoided. Clark said profits may be positive or negative, but Professor Knight said changes which can be anticipated can be insured against, and thus the potential loss can be avoided. According to him, such changes do not give rise to difference between the demand and supply, and thus no profits result from them. It is the unforeseen changes which cannot be anticipated which are responsible for emergence of profits. In a static economy, profits may not be zero. In real world, in a static economy may not be zero, or entrepreneur gets some profits. All the producer may not be able to adjust their output to the demand condition, resulting in profits.